Welcome back to the channel, ladies and gentlemen. This is the Pin Decker once again, and welcome to take two. I previously did a video. It was about 35 to 40 minutes long, and I noticed something that had previously happened again as I proofed the video. I listened to it, and of course, the sound cut off when I went to more memory intensive websites, ladies and gentlemen. So we're going to attempt to not do that this time. So once again, welcome back to the channel. This is the Pin Decker of Kung Tech Fu, doing crypto kung fu with you all day long. When you see the sword of the Pin Decker, you know that you are on the right track. You know that you are on the right track to authenticity. You know that you are on the right track to avoiding vapidity, or that which is pointless, useless, and meaningless, ladies and gentlemen. We are here to verify what is actual facts, ladies and gentlemen. We're going to do our best to attempt to stay away from our emotions, because when we make decisions based upon our emotions, it never pans out well, especially when it comes to investments and finance and the pursuit of being financially independent, ladies and gentlemen. So, if we want to understand cryptocurrency, first and foremost, let me just say nothing that I say in this video is financial advice. If you choose to act upon anything that you see here, you must, like a responsible adult, take full responsibility for your own actions. We are simply here to give you a glimpse into the vast opportunities that are available in the world of cryptocurrency, because cryptocurrency is one of the best or the most pure mechanisms that there is to embark on the path of compound interest, which creates wealth, ladies and gentlemen. And that's what we are here to do. We are here to use some principles and some concepts to catapult ourselves into financial independence. So, when it comes to cryptocurrency, we have to start at the beginning, ladies and gentlemen. And the beginning, of course, is Bitcoin, ladies and gentlemen. Now, there's a lot of controversy going over Bitcoin. There's a lot of arguing and debating, but we're going to talk a little bit about Bitcoin before we get into what we are here to talk about today, which is the Phantom blockchain that has been rebranded as Sonic, ladies and gentlemen. So stay tuned. We're going to make this fast and quick. We're going to try and keep this under 15 minutes, and we're, of course, going to try and stay away from some more of the more hardcore data driven websites, because we want this video to go smooth and by the numbers. And if you notice, I do not edit my videos. I like to keep everything spontaneous and authentic, ladies and gentlemen. So we're going to sit here and we're going to talk about, we've got a nice little video here to put you guys in the crypto mood, talking about has Bitcoin has died well over 400 times, ladies and gentlemen. And then we're going to come back and we're going to have a quick talk about Bitcoin before we go into the rebranded, remodeled, refurbished Phantom blockchain, now known as Sonic. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to cut it right there. You are free to go to YouTube and watch this video. It's called the Bitcoin Obituary Song, and it's a really great little techno music there. So we are here to discuss cryptocurrency, and we are here to discuss, in order to understand cryptocurrency, we, of course, have to start out with Bitcoin. And there's a good book that you might want to read concerning Bitcoin, written by Roger Ver, known as The Hijacking of Bitcoin. But as with most things when it comes to finance, we don't always get the full story because those who know have always controlled those who do not know. So therefore, if information is omitted, you can't possibly come up with the right conclusion. That is why it is your job to be in the know, ladies and gentlemen. So if we sit here and we look at Bitcoin, which came out in 2009, I believe it came out in 2009, ladies and gentlemen, or 2008. And I think, no, the Bitcoin white paper came out in 2009, if I'm not mistaken. But yeah, so let's just say that the Bitcoin came out in 2008, and the white paper also came out in 2009, I believe. But what I'm trying to say here is that Bitcoin is the only actual cryptocurrency, which is why when it comes to cryptocurrency, you have Bitcoin and you have altcoins, ladies and gentlemen. And alt, of course, stands for alternative. And alternative to what? Obviously, alternative to Bitcoin, ladies and gentlemen. But there's a lot of missing information. And I just wanted to quickly make you guys aware of all the information that is not being told to you, ladies and gentlemen, because the Bitcoin that was being sold since 2009 or being acquired since 2009 actually changed in 2017. In 2017, there was a fork of Bitcoin, which is the Bitcoin that we are buying today, which is at $96,000 currently. But this Bitcoin is technically known as SegWit or native SegWit Bitcoin. There's legacy, there's SegWit, and there's native SegWit, ladies and gentlemen. But SegWit means segregated witness, which means that the transactions and the ledger has been tampered with. It does not go back to the original Genesis block, ladies and gentlemen. And because the signatures have been tampered with, and it is still on old technology, and there were options that were never enabled, Bitcoin never became what it was always meant to be, which is a peer-to-peer cash system. And you have plenty of Bitcoin maxis that simply will not give you the full story. So the guy Roger Ver, who created the book Hijacking Bitcoin, you may want to get it. He talked. He actually made a fork and of that, and that of course is known as Bitcoin Cash, ladies and gentlemen. And if we just circle down here, he didn't like what was going on with the SegWit Bitcoin of 2017, so he made his own, known as Bitcoin Cash, ladies and gentlemen, which is a slightly upgraded fork of the 2017 SegWit Bitcoin itself. And then, of course, this is as far as people go. People don't tell you about the last iteration. Not even Roger Ver will mention the last iteration of Bitcoin, because a person that was working with Roger Ver on Bitcoin Cash, they didn't see eye to eye. And that person, of course, is, I guess we could call him the infamous, famous for the wrong reason, or maybe the right reason, depending on how you look at it. And that, of course, is Craig Wright. And Craig Wright came up with the third iteration, of which no one ever tells you about, which is known as BSV. And of course, BSV, ladies and gentlemen, is Bitcoin Satoshi Vision. All right. Now, minus the price, and that's one thing that I always tell you guys when it comes to financial independence and investing, price is a distraction. Because if you are an investor, you are looking at long-term strategies in order to obtain financial independence. People who are looking for a quick, flip, known as gamblers, they want to buy low and sell high. But the thing about that is, once you sell your coins, you no longer have anything to generate yield with. And as a matter of fact, most people that want to buy low and sell high and do 5x, 10x, 20x, 100x, they sell their coins. You no longer have anything to earn yield with. They just want a quick flip and then they go on to the next coin and the next coin and the next coin. And they bring that traditional finance mentality into crypto and they become traders and or gamblers. And there's nothing wrong with that if that's your forte, you know. But it is far better to own the casino that the people are gambling in. Because if you own the casino, if you want to try your hand at a little gambling, as long as you own the casino, then that's the best way to do it. So that's the difference between an investor and a trader. A trader is not an investor. He is a person that is looking for a quick flip and he sells his coins, so therefore he has nothing to earn yield with. An investor holds his coins, and by holding their coins, they find ways to earn yield on their coins. So they have a continuous flow of compound interest, ladies and gentlemen, for long-term wealth buildings. In other words, you don't sell your cows in order to buy some milk. Okay? So that's what we seek to do as investors in cryptocurrency. We learn to earn yield on our coins so that we don't have to sell our coins, so that we, like the wealthy, there's a difference between a wealthy person and a consumer. A consumer is always getting rid or spending their money, so they have nothing to build upon. And it is similar to the trader. They're constantly selling their coins, so they have nothing to earn yield on. The wealthy, the truly wealthy, do not sell their assets. They earn yield with their assets and they live any lifestyle they want off of the dividends, ladies and gentlemen. But if we look at Bitcoin SV does indeed go back to the Genesis block, ladies and gentlemen. And this is the part that they don't tell you. And it's also running on a new technology or blockchain known as the Terra node, ladies and gentlemen, which promises up to over 1 million transactions per second. It has also enabled some options in the original Bitcoin protocol that was not enabled by the COPA people who forked Bitcoin in 2017. So Michael Saylor himself once said that if you have the superior asset, it will go up forever. So let's take a look at what is Bitcoin SV. Bitcoin SV emerged following a hard fork of the Bitcoin Cash blockchain in 2018, as I just said, with Roger Ver, which had in turn forked the BTC blockchain a year earlier. The goal of Bitcoin SV is to fulfill the original vision of the Bitcoin protocol and design as described in Satoshi Nakamoto's white paper. They aim to offer scalability and stability in line with the original description of Bitcoin as a peer-to-peer electronic cash system, as well as deliver a distributed data network called the Terra node that can support enterprise-level advanced blockchain application, ladies and gentlemen. So there you have it. Now you finally have the full story of Bitcoin, ladies and gentlemen. So you have the legacy Bitcoin, which came out in 2008. You've got the fork of the legacy, which happened in 2017, known as SegWit or native SegWit. And you can always tell SegWit because it starts with a BC1, and native SegWit will start with the prefix of 3 in the contract address. But if you have true Bitcoin, it will always start with the number 1, as Bitcoin SV does, ladies and gentlemen. So now that you have the information, now you can make an informed decision, because I'm not here to convince you of anything. I am not a salesman. I am not a lawyer. I am not here to sell you something or convince you of anything. I'm simply here to educate you on aspects that you might not have been made aware of, because people are purposely trying to deceive you. So now that you have all the information, you can make a decision for yourself. Now, with that in mind, ladies and gentlemen, let's go on over to what we are here to talk about. And we are here to talk about the Phantom, formerly known as the Phantom blockchain, now known as Sonic, ladies and gentlemen. It has been rebranded, refurbished, and all of that stuff. See, Sonic, previously FTM. Now, FTM has stood the test of time. It has made a lot of money for a lot of people previously, but as things continue to develop in blockchain technology, it kind of got pushed to the back, ladies and gentlemen. So they rebranded as Sonic, and they are doing a wonderful, wonderful job of catching up with the times. So what we're going to do is we're going to very quickly take a look at some of the dApps that make it possible for you to do liquidity providing and or farming so that you can take advantage of being an investor and not getting tokens and wait until they go up in price appreciation. Then you sell them, and then you go on to the next thing, and the next thing, and the next thing, and the next thing. And you never build a stable portfolio that you can take refuge in because you're constantly selling your assets. No, the goal as an investor is to obtain assets, find a way to earn yield on them, and so therefore you never have to sell your assets. Get Bitcoin or Bitcoin SV, true Bitcoin, and find a way to earn yield on it so you never have to sell your Bitcoin or your XRP or whatever you feel has a future and sustainability, ladies and gentlemen. This is the way of the efficient. This is the way of the truly wealthy. And once you learn how to earn yield on your coins, you can live any lifestyle you want off of the dividends while never ever having to get rid of your wealth base. So, Sonic, as we can see here, let's just take a quick little look-see before we go into some of the dApps where you can use compound interest and or farming and liquidity providing so that you can start to build a portfolio that you can take refuge in. Sonic is the highest performing EV in L1, combining speed incentives and world-class infrastructure powering the next generation of DeFi application. The chain provides 10,000 TPS or transactions per second and sub-second finality, ladies and gentlemen. Now, when we say DeFi applications, we are talking, of course, about decentralized finance. But what does that actually mean when we say decentralized, ladies and gentlemen? Very simply put, decentralized means that there is no single point of failure. If you are a centralized company or entity, that means if there is a attack on your company, whether it's a hostile takeover or a hack, that means your company can be taken down very easily. And this is one of the reasons why blockchain is very secure, because at the heart of cryptocurrency is the principle of decentralization, which means that there is no single point of failure, because Satoshi Nakamoto created cryptocurrency with the idea in mind, knowing and understanding the former powers that be. Because every time that we had something that could help us, it was always taken away from us. We did not have a level playing field, and the government and the banks were always in control of our destiny. But that day is over, and things have changed, because now cryptocurrency gives you the ability to be your own bank, to take charge of your own destiny, and no one can take it away from you. Blockchain cannot be deleted, it cannot be redacted. So therefore, in the beginning, if you remember, cryptocurrency was a bad word because it directly went against the power structure that controlled us for generations. But now we have the ability to take our destiny into our own hands, and no government or no centralized entity, no bank can now take that away from us, because now we can delete the middleman and we don't have to try and find a seat at the table anymore. We can now have our own seat at our own table and make our own decisions, thus living a life that is permissionless, because the power of choice has been returned to us. So you see, my friends, cryptocurrency is indeed a wonderful, wonderful gift. and it is immense opportunity right at your fingertips. So in essence, cryptocurrency gives you a license to make all of the money that you want. And now that cryptocurrency is no longer a dirty word, we have a crypto president, a crypto house, a crypto senate with no capital gains tax, because cryptocurrency is not a financial security. It is a digital asset, meaning it is your property, ladies and gentlemen. And with that, let's go into the first D app, known as SWAPX, ladies and gentlemen. Now, SWAPX is going to give us the ability to provide liquidity with our assets so that we don't have to sell them and we can consistently earn yield on our assets. Now, if we look at SWAPX right here, it's unleashing the next wave of DeFi on Sonic, formerly known as Phantom, of course. Pioneering DeFi, unparalleled flexibility. You can see it for yourself. Now, the total value locked, ladies and gentlemen, is 49.23 million and growing. The total volume is 568 million.58, ladies and gentlemen. Now, the total value locked, you always want to look at that on a protocol, because everything in crypto is cash and carry. There's no credit in crypto. And if there is anything that looks similar to credit, it is what you give yourself, known as a loan to value score, if you start to utilize loan and borrow protocols, which also is a great mechanism for you to utilize the principle of compound interest. So in other words, if you want to borrow $5,000, you might put $6, $8, or $10,000 into a protocol, borrow against your collateral, and if you use stable coins, there's no way to get liquidated, and you borrow that, you take it somewhere else, you make even more money and pay yourself back whenever you're good and ready. So that is known as a loan to value score that you give yourself. So you have latest insights, you got tokenomics, you got all of this stuff going on here. So this is SWAPX, ladies and gentlemen, and there's also some other great things going on. If you look here, you got Bad Bunny, which I've been doing for quite some time, and it's a tap to earn protocol, and a lot of people that I know are into this, and I even got my wife into this, and she's kind of kicking my butt on it, and even with the help of my daughter, she's still kicking my butt. But there's an airdrop coming for Bad Bunny, and you can actually still utilize this. I think there's still time to get in before the airdrop, and you can tap away and step into the world of Bad Bunny, where quick taps mean rapid rewards. Guide our mischievous bunny as he slices through endless carrots, all while dodging taunts from his tricky veggie foes, ladies and gentlemen. So that's something that you can take a look at, and I believe I have a referral link for that, and I'll put that down in the description below. But we can also go here to the swap section, where you will obtain the coins that you need in order to provide liquidity in the earn section, ladies and gentlemen. We go here to the earn section, and this is for liquidity providers, of course. They've got a little caption here talking about Frax. And here are the top pools, the top 4 pools here. And then you have all of the pools down here, and they are all very wonderful. But if you click on any one of these, you will notice something right away. And the thing that you will notice is you have the ability to use the automated or the manual. Now, the reason why that's really good is, you see, it's powered by Ichi, and through these strategies, you will basically be able to, what we call, zap into a liquidity position, and just by using one coin. So it basically gives you like a single-sided staking concept while providing liquidity. And if you provided Wrapped Sonic WS, which is Wrapped Sonic, you will get an 18.65% APR. If you used OS, then you will get a 21%. So you can actually determine which one you want more or less exposure to by simply clicking this one or that one, and you can enter in as a single-sided staker that will zap into the liquidity position. However, if you are very experienced and you want to do concentrated liquidity, you can go to manual and you can provide both sides of the liquidity providing position yourself, and you can determine if you want full range, if you want safe, if you want common, or if you're an expert, you can set the parameters yourself if you know what you're doing, ladies and gentlemen. So that's that. Then we go on to the next portion, which is the voting system. You can lock your SWAPX tokens into vested, that VE stands for vested SWAPX, which means you lock them up for a certain period of time to gain voting power. And that, of course, goes into the what they call the DAO, the DAO, which stands for Decentralized Autonomous Organization, ladies and gentlemen. So, in other words, you get a say so in what the protocol does or does not do. You can vote with your vested SWAPX to earn weekly voting incentives and trading fees. Vested SWAPX can be transformed, merged, and split. You can hold multiple positions, ladies and gentlemen. And in some protocols, you can actually sell your voting power to other entities that may have a bigger dog in the fight. So if you don't have a dog in the fight, like you can usually sell your voting power to, people who actually care about certain things. If you don't have a dog in the fight, you might just say, you know what, I might just sell my voting power to someone else. And I don't know if you can do that in this protocol, but usually that can be done. So you see, you have all of this going on here, and you can figure out what you want to do when it comes to voting power. But you have to, of course, vest your SWAPX tokens. And where you get that, of course, you go right on over here to your swapper, and you should have some Sonic in your wallet. And then if you go to the bottom, you sell your Sonic and you swap, of course, into the token that you want down here. You guys should already have some idea of how this goes if you're a crypto person. Okay. Now, of course, you got XNFT, where you can stake your XNFTs to earn a share of SwapX trading fees. And if you've been here for quite some time and you've been expecting, you probably have an NFT. So if you do, then you already know what to do. Then, of course, you got your referral system. And if you vest $250 or more into the protocol, you will get a referral address. And as you pull other people into the system that use your referral address, you will get different perks and you will be able to generate your referral link. And this is the referral system overview. And you can go in here and see what all of that is about. And then, of course, you got over here, you've got more. Over here, you've got a bridge, which is Rhino. You've got things you can look at, airdrop, partners, analytics. This is Dune Analytics. You should know about that. But basically, let's go over there just to get some information for your technical analysis, ladies and gentlemen. Now, there are other dApps that work in conjunction with SwapX. If you take a look over here, total ring points over here. This is a protocol called rings, ladies and gentlemen. And rings over here is how you would get some of your more difficult tokens to get. So if we were over here in SwapX, right, there's an LP down here. Shout out to Ray from Bartertown, because he's the one that really put me on this. And he's put me on to a lot of things throughout the years, ever since I've been into crypto. If you don't watch the Bartertown Conglomerate, you should. Give a shout out to Ray. Tell him Kongtech Fu sent you. And he pointed out yesterday, if we look at Load More, he pointed out one of the tokens that people were having a hard time getting into, but it's one of the best LP positions in all of crypto, ladies and gentlemen. I think I passed it. Here it is. And if we look at Wrapped BTC and SCBTC, this is a liquidity providing position, and it's now down to 63%. Yesterday, this was all the way up to 114%. But of course, the more people that hop into the pool, the lower the APR, because there's more mouths to feed, ladies and gentlemen. But it's still one of the best liquidity providing positions, because we all know that Bitcoin, SegWit Bitcoin I'm talking about, will continue to go up in price for more years. You got MicroStrategy, you got Cantor Fitzgerald and Harold Lutnick. They bought into MicroStrategy 36%. Even JP Morgan is buying millions and millions of dollars. So needless to say, you've got the government of the Department of Government Efficiency, Doge. They're looking to have, Bitcoin treasury and nation states and this and that. So, needless to say, SegWit Bitcoin will be here for quite some time. So, it is my personal opinion that when the world as a whole finds out about Bitcoin SV, they're going to drop SegWit Bitcoin like a hot potato. But that's another story for another time. But meanwhile, while SegWit Bitcoin is still hot, we can utilize it to earn yield. Now, what is wrapped Bitcoin? Understand that wrapped Bitcoin is not actually Bitcoin. Wrapped Bitcoin is a token which belongs to the category of Bitcoin layer 2, meaning that it's a token that is pegged to the price of Bitcoin. It is not Bitcoin itself, but it wields the same economic power as Bitcoin. So if we were to go into here and add liquidity, once again, we still have the ability to enter in a single-sided staking way so that we essentially do not experience impermanent loss. Whether BTC goes up or goes down, we still continue to earn yield on it. Whether we go in with wrapped Bitcoin, which is we will earn an APR of 63% if we want more exposure to that, or we can go in with SCBTC if we want more exposure to that. And of course, we do that by either this one, wrap BTC is already highlighted. If we want an SCBTC, we will simply click into that and obtain it, and we will deposit that here. You connect your wallet, of course. Now, when you connect your wallet, ladies and gentlemen, you should be using your Rabby wallet, ladies and gentlemen. Now, most of you should have a MetaMask. I too have a MetaMask. But what you want to do is you want to take your MetaMask wallet and or your seed phrase, and you want to import that into your Rabby. So whether you're using your MetaMask or whether you're using your Rabby, what you do on a blockchain remains consistent. In other words, it's like going into a room. MetaMask may be your front door, but Rabby will be your back door. And no matter which wallet you use, it is still the same wallet because you simply imported your MetaMask into Rabby. So everything you do in Rabby will resonate in MetaMask, and everything you do in MetaMask will resonate in Rabby. So why do we do that? Because Rabby has a lot of intuitive and updated feature that MetaMask does not have, ladies and gentlemen. So I would suggest that you guys get a MetaMask wallet. Remember your seed phrase, and then use your private key to import that wallet into Rabby. Because when you use Rabby, as you go back and forth between Ethereum, Avalanche, whatever blockchain you're using, Rabby automatically switches to that blockchain so that you don't have to do it manually. And when it comes to things like rings, what we were just talking about, in order for you to get the SCBTC, you're going to have to go into rings. All right. And when you go into rings, you can see up top here that this is the Ethereum blockchain. So you will be providing wrapped Bitcoin or wrapped BTC on Ethereum so that on the bottom, so that you can receive SCBTC on the Sonic blockchain, ladies and gentlemen. So you will go here, and then of course you will click wrapped BTC and you will receive this. And whatever balance you have here, you can click max if you want to do all of it, or you can simply type in 0.005 or whatever it is you're going to do in wrap Bitcoin so that it can be the equivalent can be translated into SCBTC. It'll take about 3 to 5 minutes for that to bridge over into the Sonic blockchain. And once it's in your wallet, and this is another reason why having Rabby is a good idea, because Rabbit can actually handle the utilization of you using two blockchains at once. It will be a little more difficult to navigate if you were just using MetaMask, where you will have to switch it manually. All right. So that's another great thing about using that. So once you get your SCBTC, you of course will go back to your SWAPX and then add liquidity, ladies and gentlemen. And you can simply click on SCBTC and go ahead and deposit that. Now, if you notice, you have a little button here that says do not stake. And this right here. Now, you select this option if you plan to use your LP in third-party dapps, okay? So that means that you will be able to, so people say, well, why would I put it here if I'm going to use it somewhere else? It's simple, because you will deposit your liquidity here, but you will be able to use it elsewhere. So that's why this button is here. All right. So you can deposit here and you can get this LP position that will go into your wallet, but you don't have to stake it here. You can create the LP position here and you can go to something else like Navigator. I'm not going to click on Navigator because it's very memory intensive and it'll probably take the soundtrack off of the video. But what I did do is I actually took a picture of Navigator for you to look at. And we can take a look at, this is what Navigator looks like. And if you want to go over there yourself, it's navigator.exchange / with a kind of a pound button symbol there, or a number button and another /. You can see it right there in the URL. But this is Navigator, which is a decentralized liquidity marketplace, effortless trading, continuous liquidity across crypto, forex, and beyond, ladies and gentlemen. So this is another app to use in conjunction with SWAPX, ladies and gentlemen. So there you have it. This is SWAPX. And also, if you utilize the rings, you will also get points over here in SWAPX, because when you go to rings, if you notice, you can deposit, which is what you're doing over here. You can redeem stuff over here if you have SCUSD. If you staked that, you see, you got SCUSD, and you can stake it so that you receive staked SCUSD. You can lock it into the protocol so that you can receive points. And when you lock, you can lock for 1 week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks, 1 year. Or you can do a custom duration if you want to do longer. Because there are some protocols, like let's take Aerodrome, for example, on the base chain, where most people that utilize these flywheel type services, they lock their coins up for about 4 years in escrow in order to obtain different perks from the platform. So depending on what you want to do. So when I go to do this, I will of course be locking up for 1 year, because when you lock these up, you get points and you get certain perks that you wouldn't get anywhere else. And then in a year's time, you still own that liquidity that is in there, ladies and gentlemen. But it's completely up to you. If you want to try it out and just do a week, try it out and just do a week. And if you are free to make your own decisions here, then of course you can vote. You get voting power, and you can look at each epoch. It lets you know when the epoch ends. And then, of course, you can get a look at the points that you have based upon the activity that you have done, ladies and gentlemen. So this is, just some of the protocols. There's some others. There's some others that we're going to take a look at in the future. There's a bonding, protocol. I actually have it over here on my phone. I'm not going to go to it, but let me just take a quick look at my bookmarks here. And in my bookmarks, I have it right here. It's called the Sonic Index, ladies and gentlemen. And okay, you talked me into it. Let's see if we can go on over there and Sonic Index. I don't think this one is too memory intensive, but if the sound goes out, just enjoy enjoy looking at the site. But this is Sonic Index. All right, so it just brought us here, and this is actually if I was to come here, yeah, it's taking a little time. But if we were to back up and put a, no, actually, that's not what it's called, ladies and gentlemen. It's actually called F. Hold on, F. Let's go back here. F6 dot bond. All right, that's what it's called. Backslash. We don't have to put the HTTPS. I think it'll. Yeah, here it is right here. F6 dot bond, and this is a bond basically that will come. And also, there's another one that will. I'm not going to go to it. I'm just going to give you guys the heads up of what to look for when it comes to these things. There's another. Uh, There's another one here that is known as a tomb fork, because if you know anything about Phantom back in the day, you know that tomb was a big protocol that was so iconic that it was replicated many times over in tomb forks. But this one is called Hand of God and dot app backslash. And this will be the new rebranded tomb fork for Sonic, which of course is now, which previously was Phantom, which is now Sonic. So if we go here, this is Hand of God, ladies and gentlemen. And if the sound goes out, no worries. So yeah, so this is Hand of God, AI-driven seniorage protocol here. And this is the protocol dynamically analyze key metrics every 6 hours to ensure long-term sustainability. This has not come out yet, and it will come out very soon. But this is basically a super duper refurbished, updated, completely remodeled tomb, the new tomb, if you will, known as Hand of God, ladies and gentlemen. So these are some of the things to look for when it comes to Phantom and or Sonic now, in order for you to earn massive yield on all your protocols. So this has definitely taken the number one spot. I got a lot of number one spots, as you guys know. I say that about everything. But this has, when I say number one spot, it's more like a category, because I have a bunch of things that are in the number one spot. You got things like BitTens or Tau, that's in the number one spot. I mean, there's lots of things that are in the number one spot because they are all relevant, ladies and gentlemen. When it comes to not being overwhelmed, it's not about trying to chase everything. It's about getting at the central nexus of which all of these economic ecosystems intersects, so that you can put your spigot into the main vein of this global financial system. So with that, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to leave you as always, because we are here to do one thing and one thing only, and that is to get this crypto.